All right. So I was like, all right, we're gonna hop on and talk about just like random walkthrough of a day. Let's say you have a job, you work for you work early mornings, and there's no way in the world you can trade right at the open, or you finish your work at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon or this time, and now you come in front of the computer. Can you trade? This is like a question, right? Like, is it okay to trade a bit later on in the afternoon when you can't trade right in the morning? You come on the computer, you come on your desk, or you start looking at charts around this time. What should you do? Or like, even in general, one simple rule I'll give you: jump on a 60-minute chart and just check what's going on. So as you can see right now, you're like, all right, that's a you know critical level breaking on Nvidia. That's just like in 1 minute. It took us 1 minute. All right, let me see what's going on this. Open up, check the daily, have a look what's going on. The daily candle looks good. It went down and it came up, now looking very, very bullish. So how can we trade this towards the end of the day, right? So this is like you do pretty much on any name. So this is the hourly level right now. What's going on now? We broke the level and we're coming back to retest it, right? So this can be something you like, all right, this is, if you have to jump on, I can jump in long position right here with a profit target there, stop loss right below. Right, stop loss right below. You're risking pretty much 10, 20 cents to make a fucking $1.50. This can be one trade. This is a trade idea. All right, let's say if the price was here, a couple of candles before this, this is like one. So later on in the afternoon, you really want to place yourself at a spot where you want to place yourself at a spot. Do not take breakouts. Take breakouts and retests. Why? It will help you in because later on in the afternoon the volume kind of dies out, and you want to place yourself in a way where you can protect your downside more than what you're worried about making on the upside, right? I'm not saying that don't worry about making on the upside. Yeah, this is our business, but the main number one goals towards the end of the day is not to give back the gains that we had in the morning, right? So if you were up, say, you were up $400 in the morning. Now you do not want to lose any more than $100 of this, 25%. The moment your profits drop to 300, yeah, just call it a day, or otherwise next day you'll be like, you won't have the confidence of, because you were pretty confident here. Now you came back and you lost some money, and next day you'll trade like shit, right? You get my point? So the number one thing that you can do towards the later on in the afternoon, if you see a play, don't look for home runs now, just look for singles. A little bit move here, you catch a little bit move there. One contract in this will give you like $50, say $100. Yeah, you catch that, make that 400 to 500. The moment it goes to 500, every $50 or $100, reset the number to next 25%. Now you don't want to lose any more than 25% of this. You get my point? So the moment it drops to that number, you're gonna call it a day. And you're looking for singles. Now you can see if I would have taken the trade, I'll be in profit already, right? You get my point? So we do this pretty much on every name, like on this Tesla right now. Jump on 60-minute. What's going on? Check the random, like, in the morning, a lot of people lost some money today. Yeah, that's fine, man. For every this little tip I'll give you, don't have your stop losses for the day. Have your stop losses for, okay, for first 2 hours, I'm only allowed to lose $100. That means if you take $100 hit in the morning and later on you see a trend, you can hop on the trend and make it back or make a little bit more back. But what people do is they have a mindset where they lose pretty much all the money, or they use all the buying power early morning, and now later on when it starts trending, they're out of buying power, right? So if you have this much money, you want to break it down in a way, okay, this is for my morning. If I see an opportunity later on, you're gonna say, you gotta have something, man. If you don't have something, what you gonna do then? Just sit there, watch like a motherfucker because you can't catch it? No. Divide your capital. I know a lot of people be like, I have a small account, I can't divide it. Stop trading the names which are really, really dear. If you have $1,000, use 500 in the morning, 500 if you see later on moves. And that will also protect you. Okay, if you only allowed to use 500, and now if you're having a bad morning, you won't lose a lot of money because that's your max. But your buying power max can be $150 a contract, and you can do 3 contracts at $450. Buying power is out. You get my point? And now if you lost some money of this, there's no way in the world you'll blow your accounts or anything, because you still have the buying power left for later on, and you'll come back. If you're a right mindset, you'll try to make it back, or not try to make it back, or just try to catch some nice plays, right? Actually, this was my another trade that I took before. I think it was somewhere here. Yeah, I think it was somewhere here. I caught this candle. I made $317 just on one candle. So, and imagine now if you're able to catch one of these moves but later on in the day, mate, you putting yourself in a position where in the next day you're gonna have confidence for the next day. You get my point? So this is like random stuff that you need to do every day. Make a plan. The plan for the early morning should be different to the plan later on, because now you have fresh information. You can't rely on the information which you had in the pre-market. Now you have fresh set of information, and now you're going to trade accordingly. You get my point? So what's happening on SPY? Boom. And that looks on a daily chart. If you see, that looks pretty bullish candle to me. We are basically bouncing on a demand area. This is a little demand zone. And we bounce off in the demand. So does this mean tomorrow we'll keep pushing? I don't know. But all I care about is what's happening now. Because we're day traders, man. You shouldn't be like, I see a lot of people text me and be like, what do you think the market going to do tomorrow? I mean, who cares? If it goes up, I make a bunch of money. If it goes down, I make a bunch of money. You just got to place yourself in a way. The only reason I don't care what the market going to do is because it's going to make me biased. Get my point? You don't want to be biased at all. So if you think market going to go down, like today, a lot of people thought market going to go down. Right? Even yesterday, talk about yesterday, the CPI numbers came out. Everyone was like, market's going down. What happened? What happened later on? If you go in a 5-minute chart, you'd be like, the fuck? Look at this. It didn't, we dropped so hard, and then a lot of people were like just biased towards one side. And yeah, they bought puts right at the market open, and they're like, yeah, you're going to just keep on going. You're going to go to zero. I mean, come on, man. The things that look too obvious are normally, the traps. So, and do not take weakness after such a crazy amount of weakness. Right? That's 2.5% on market, and that's why I posted on my Discord yesterday that I think market's gonna close higher. It did not kind of close high; it still closed red, but it had a whole day. We were like, chopping around, and we had a bullish trend in the middle of the day for a few hours. Same thing happened today. It broke below. Everyone was super bearish. It did give us a little bearish trend, and I think I missed it, but some people in the Discord caught this move. And now what happened? Bounced off the level 373, which was a critical level, and we went to 378. That's a $5 bounce. And now so on the market, what do I think? It's a V-shaped recovery. Yesterday we had a V-shape. Today we have a V-shape. So every single day, this is what's going on. So this is why I say do not have a bias, and just know deep in your head, just know that, yeah, from last few days, from last, not few days, this is how bear markets work, man. Bear markets, people think the stocks just go down. No, it don't. The volatility increases and it goes like this. Yeah, the macro structure goes down. The macro structure definitely goes down, but every day we see a V-shaped recoveries. Right now, what can you do here if you have to do technical analysis? Kind of gives us a better scope of what's going on. Now, what's happening here? It doesn't, I'm not saying that go short the market, but it gives us a better idea that this is a rough picture going on, and we are getting to a spot where there are chances that we can go up there and we can reject, right? Because that's what happening from last this day. Because we saw this yesterday, same thing happened. So are there chances? Definitely. So if you're in a call position, what you should do, take a step back and look at the bigger picture, what's going on, and react accordingly. Don't have a bias that, oh, it started pushing it, it's just going to keep on going higher. You'll blow your accounts like that, right? So this is like random walkthrough you should do. I reckon every day around 12 o'clock afternoon Eastern time, you should go back on your charts, and with the fresh information, you should be like, okay, now fuck whatever I thought in the morning. Now I have some new fresh information. I have more data. Let me make another plan every day around 12 o'clock. If you want to do this full time, step back, take 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, make another plan, just plot some levels so you are at a better spot. I promise you 90% of the day, they say 99, 98% of the traders lose money. And out of those, 90% people don't do this shit. You have to keep adapting to the market rather than, just like what's going on, what happened early morning, it's going to happen. You get my point, right? So keep changing your whatever you thought, keep changing everything every couple hours, because otherwise I promise you, otherwise it's going to be very, very hard. And other topic I want to talk about is just the mindset that you need to have as a trader. Can someone tell me in the chat, what do I mean by that? Like the mindset you have as a trader. Like, I'm talking about just like your relationship with money. Because I see a lot of people compare their results with other people. They're like, oh, this dude started trading exactly when I did, and he started making a bunch of money, and I can't. How can we cope with that shit? Let me show you what happened on SPY. I'm not saying that it's happened just because of that, but just check this out. Out of nowhere, we were pushing higher. We took a big dump. Why? Because the supply on the top was coming too close. You get this point? You get my point? Why looking at the wider structure is important? Like, this is like 2 minutes ago, I told you guys, and exactly same thing happened. That's why I always keep looking at the wider structure. What's happening now? Rather than, it started pushing uptrend. Okay, beautiful uptrend. But now what's happening now? At this moment in time, what's happening? So if you were in calls, as I said, jump out. This is a new information you got, that there's a supply level sitting at the top, and we can reject. All right. So talking about the mindset thing that I wanted to go over is, I feel like too many people compare the results of other people with themselves. I mean, he started 3 years ago. I started 3 years ago. He's making $1,000 a day while I'm still struggling. Um, whoever have this feeling like you see other people's profits and you're red on the day and you're like, man, we started at the same time, but what the fuck's going on? I'm reading the chat. %, with me. I'm fucking impressed, bro. I'm impressed. Out of 53 people on, there's only one dude who feels. I'm impressed. Makes you feel like you don't understand as much as you should. um, like when you compare yourself to other people. All right, now, um, just this is just a random thing that I wanted to share. Yeah, following Instagram gurus that only push wins. Yeah, man, this is all the whole industry works kind of that way, man. Like I posted my live login, one point, I think 1.1, I don't know. There's something like 1.1 M something for 6 months. Posted the live login, right? How many Instagrammers can do that shit? No, not a lot. But one thing that I want to show here, I've never did so far because I had a mindset where I was comparing. I had a mindset where I was comparing to other people who, like people who started with me 4 years ago, and they are sitting at a level where I wanted to sit, right? Or I was working hard to sit there and I couldn't. Um, One thing I realized, people I was comparing to, like I came from nothing, right? I came from nothing. I had no money. I came from zero. I'm from a little town. This was my fucking net worth. Let me show you a fucking little photo. Um, I promise you. Let me know if you guys resonate with that shit. Um, this is me, 2018. That's 24th July. All right, check this out. This was a screenshot of my. This was a screenshot of my bank. Minus $152. um, minus $152. That was my entire fucking net worth in minus. I had no money to fucking pay back to people, man. Um, so you see, I came from nothing and I was comparing myself to people who were born into money, right? I had a different relationship with money, man, because I came from nothing. I fucking lived on $2 for like fucking 3 days because that was my only money that I had. And I bought like off the bread that was like, didn't buy the bread that people chuck out in the bin. Not the people like the bakers, at the end of the day, bakery, they throw everything out. I lived on those breads, buy some water. He goes $2 back then, he's like 35 today. Nah, man, I'm not that old, bro. I'm talking like 4 years ago. um, so I came from nothing, and I was comparing to people who came from a lot of money. Now, one thing, I'm not nothing against the people who born with money, right? Like, yeah, there's a generation who comes and it makes a bunch of money, and next generations are just like looking after the money or growing the business next level. So that's cool. Probably my kids be there. But I was like at a stage where I had nothing, and now I'm comparing myself to people yeah, if someone's starting with nothing, man, it's gonna take him a while. Then this person who has a good relationship with money and who thinks like a rich dude who knows that, yeah, to make money you need money. So his mindset's total different compared to mine. And I was comparing myself to these people all the time. The whole time I was comparing myself, and I was like feeling shit about myself, even though I made 100 grand a fucking month, and I'd be like, nah, man, that dude made a fucking million a month. And I was getting depressed because of this. I think I posted on my Instagram a while back. I was getting depressed, man. I was getting like literally depressed. Um, then I spoke to some people. Nobody's perfect, man. This is one thing. Um, Nobody is perfect, right? We all make mistakes. We all have emotions. If someone tells you like they haven't got emotions, nah, man, we all got emotions, right? Um, so I have emotions. Everyone have emotions, and everyone has different relationship with money. And someone who is a single father, let's say this dude, he's a single father, single mother, and he or she would rather buy nappies for the baby with that fucking $50. And we are comparing this dude to this dude who literally just tips McDonald worker $50 just because she's a blondie or whatever. So you tell me now, who's gonna have a better, different relationship with money? This dude who's like totally attached with money right now, and he wants to be a trader, and he's comparing himself to this person. Is it gonna work? Is it a right comparison? Even though they start with the same money, even though he starts with 5K and he starts with 5K as well. That's not a right comparison, right? This is one thing that I understood. 5K for him is like a lot of money, but 5K for someone who's born into money is like, all right, let's see if it works out. So stop comparing yourself to people because you don't know the story. You don't know the story. What the whole story. You have no idea. And now if you're comparing yourself to these people, I'll say, nah, you need to think on a macro scale. Someone said, quick question. Is it true that no amount of money will ever be enough? It depends how much hunger you have. Yeah, it depends on how much hunger you have. Some people, they're kind of happy with so like some people have a job and they are happy with $80,000 a year. But there's some people who are never happy. I'm not attached with money. Where I'm sitting now, I'm not attached with money. The only thing that I worry about is I need to improve every single day. Every day I go to bed, I'm a little bit more smarter than what I woke up with. That's it. And pretty much that's it. Money follows, man. If you improve as a trader every single day, you journal, you backtest, you do all the stuff that you're meant to do. It's like running any business. It's like running any sort of business. You know what I mean? You start a business and you're like, okay, I made 100 grand. Now not gonna do nothing. Is it gonna work? No. So trading is exactly the same. Trading is a business, and you always want to grow as a trader. But there's only a stage where I think the growth kind of stops. I wouldn't say stop, but it's like the threshold. Like today on Tesla, I tried to get in 40 contracts and I only got filled in 27. You see what I'm saying? I only got filled in 27, but I wanted to fucking get filled in 40 contracts. Like I did the order for 20 and 20. I got filled in first 20, all right. The next one I just got filled in 7. So now there's only so much supply, there's only so much volume that I can't go out there and be like, okay, I'm gonna buy 100 contracts of Tesla. Nah, it doesn't work that way, right? So there's only so much money when it comes to trading. You can make 7 figures, but the stress that comes with trading with more money is there's also more stress. If you're trading with $1,000 position size, you get a stress. It's just like, some people are like, okay, only if this is one thing that I hear from pretty much everybody. He goes, I have a small account, but only if I had a $100,000 account, I will make money. No, you won't. if you can't manage your stress from 1,000, there's no way in the world you'll manage your stress 100 times more. And that's really 100 times more stress. There's no way in the world. So if you can't manage your $1,000 to be successful in whatever, man, the first thing you need to learn is how you're going to cope with stress. Because stress, this is the field that you're coming in. There's stress. Every single day you got to do something, and you got to jump into a position and either broke or played up. There's one of my friends who I think he lost like $40,000 other day. Who remembers when the options were playing up? So I think there was a little problem with OPEX, and so he got into a position that he was not able to get out. He lost like 40 grand. Like, you tell me, he did everything right on his end, and it was just a macro. Everything was playing up, and who's to blame here? I mean, that's a cost of running a business. You know what I mean? When you have a business and something goes wrong, that's a cost of running a business, man. That's why these are the stresses. If you do one contract and you lost $40, you wouldn't care. But if you're in 100 contracts on something and you lost 4,000 just because of something that was not even your mistake, yeah, definitely, man, you'll care. So this is a big thing where a lot of people actually struggle. So get your mindset right. I think if you can manage it $1,000 right, you can easily manage any money. But if you can't manage this right, there's no way more money gonna fix the problems. Very inspirational. It's a weed, bro. It's not the vape. Fuck the vape shit. Yeah, this is like I'm done trading, man. It's bloody 5 o'clock in the fucking morning here. So for me, that's my nighttime, man. um, this is a good question. Have you ever hit trading account value resistance? That's actually a fucking good question. I'm gonna put it up here. Hang on. That's really good question. That's a good fucking question. Okay. Have you ever hit trading account value resistance? Definitely, man. Definitely. This is a real thing. I promise you, this is a real thing. I'll tell you a little bit about what happened with me when I was about to touch 100K. This is actually funny, and some people will think this was a bit stupid. But how I came out of this, you'll be like, oh my god, all right, you should try it. So every time my account will go touch 100K, I don't know, it was me who was like, I'll look at the number being 99.991, and I'll be like, all right, I just need $9, I'll be fucking over 100K, right? Now, what was I doing? I was trading my account size rather than trading the charts, right? So I'll come down. I'll lose a little bit of money. And it will be like back to 94, back to 95. It'll take me 2 weeks to get back to that level because now my confidence is hurt and I'm getting back the confidence, getting back there. Again, over and over again. I think this happened like, I'm not sure about the exact number. This happened like over 4 or 5 times. And then I spoke to this dude. And I'm like, this is what, like, you always got to ask for help. Nobody's born perfect. Closed mouths never gonna get fed. You have to ask people who have done it in the past and who can give you real advice. So I spoke to this dude. My account was sitting at 99K or maybe 98K. I spoke to this dude and I was like, man, every time I touch 100K or about to touch 100K, I fucking lose a little bit of money. Know what he said? He goes, do you have any money in your savings account? I'm like, yeah, I do. He asked me to put $3,000 in the account. He goes, just put $3,000 in your account, get your account value, get your account over 100K, and you'll be good. Just think about it now. So I added 3K. Now my account's sitting at 1 or 2K. You see the itch that I had in fucking my ass, bro? Now the itch is gone because now I know fucking my account's in 6 figures. You see what I'm saying? So this 3K, the return on investment of this was huge. Now I was going from 102K to 110 was easy, but going from 99K to 100K was hard. You get what I'm saying? It's just something you can trick your brain. What I did was I just tricked my brain to stop believing in the fact that I'm still 5 figures. So I bumped myself to 102K. Sounds like that's cheating. I mean, it's just like when you go to the gym, you use the whey proteins or whatever, right? So you use all these proteins that help you in in your muscle growth and stuff. So this worked as a lubricant for me to grow my account. That helped me. Yeah, if you can't move, if you're stuck at 25K, I'll definitely recommend put 2K or something. So your brain is kind of out of the dilemma that you're still sitting at the 25K, and that'll be the best thing you can do.